Hey everyone, it's the end of the night and I just want to shoot a video before I head out. I'm doing a quote for a client and the price on every line item is significant. And how do you reconcile a price that you know is going to give your client sticker shock? Not because you are very expensive, but simply because you understand that the quality of labor involved in these finishes, along with the quality of material needed to achieve the finish, and the profit margin that you need to stay in business and to give yourself an error margin, adds up to this final number. And so often, when you do a quote and there's so many different line items, you'll do on some of them, especially on a big quote. This quote is for about $150,000. And so there's so many different line items. On some of these line items, I may end up really, really tight. There may be the occasional line item where I actually just completely fail, right? And that happens sometimes for some unforeseen or some miscalculation or some oversight. And then there are those line items which you did great on. Like your math was 100% on point. No curveballs came your way. It all worked out perfect. The wind was in your favor. And lastly, there's those line items where you not only did where everything worked out in your favor, but you actually made a very, very lucrative profit on something you sold. And so how do you reconcile all the differences in your profit margin in your line items with a client who's also trying to say yes to you so you can do the project for them, and you are trying to make money while not ending up in a position where the client's overpaying for something, to the point that it's unfair, right? And what I want to present to you guys is this. You guys have to understand that, number one, from our side, from the contractor side, we represent you and your interest. And at least that's the way I think it should be. We're in your favor. I want you to say yes to us working for you. We want to work. We want to pick our jobs and have them be those very nice, very satisfying jobs because we're passionate about what we do. We don't want to get the junk work where we're fighting with cheapskates with ugly material, and no matter how good you are at what you do, it's not going to shine because nobody cares. So we care. We expect our client to care. In there's a medium where you find each other. I used to give a quote out and then just say, well, that's the number. And I used to feel almost very closed off and not open to negotiating the price. There's reasons why contractors get that way, by the way, and they're justified. And there's reasons why clients also want to make sure that contractors aren't taking a hold of advantage of them, and they're justified as well. But I think I've hit a sweet spot here where when you understand your role as a contractor, you're not just making money. You're not just going out there and turning in, a project for profit. You're going out there to, number one, fulfill your role as a man and provide for your family. Number two, fulfill a passion if it's something that reflects something that you like. And number three, to serve others. When you make a contract with somebody, you gotta understand the contract has to reflect a win-win situation. If it doesn't do that, it doesn't work. If my client ends up with the bigger side of everything and I end up with missing dollars from my profit, that doesn't feel good. If I end up with a very lucrative sum of money and my client doesn't end up with the quality of work that he paid for, that doesn't feel good. That's not fair. And so the best way to avoid any of this is by just being 100% transparent with people. If there's a budget, clients, please let us know. When I give you my bid, please keep the conversation open, because contractors, make yourself open to that conversation where you can say, hey, this is my price. This is what it cost me and my team and my machine to do your job. There's always some wiggle room. So if this is over your budget, let me know where you want to be in this price range. Let's see what we can cut out of the scope or what we can include in the scope to offset the price difference. And let's make sure that this becomes a win-win situation for the both of us, rather than that approach where it's like, I don't lower my prices for nobody. And the other approach where it's like, well, can I get this too? Oh, by the way, can you guys move that? And it's all these little things that add up to a lot of work at the end of a project. So with that in mind, excuse this long-winded explanation to this, but I just think it's so important that we understand that when we're out there in the field, we're serving people. We're serving people and their homes, and they pay us for that. And if you're out there thinking that you're just getting rich and making money, that's the byproduct of what you do. And I can't help you in that case. If money is all you see, some people, that's all they see, and that's perfectly fine, including clients. But definitely those are not our clients, and we are not those kind of contractors. We like to connect with people. We like to create a fair exchange, and I don't see why there's any reason why we can't come out on top after it's all said and done. So with that said, my name is Mike with Advanced Home Solutions. I hope you guys like this, and I'll do more of these for you, because I have so much insight on this in this industry and so many different parts of it. We're focusing on one part of it now, but there's so many different parts of it and so much information that I have that I'd love to share with you guys. So you guys have a good night.